Paranormal Dimensions is a regular feature on Mondays on the Paranormal UK radio network. Any opinions or comments made by any guest are their own, and they do not necessarily reflect any of the presenters or network's opinions.
The object was flying head-on at us. It was 50 times the magnitude of the brightest star. I immediately made an abrupt turn to avoid collision. As I looked to my left, the object appeared to come to a stop.
Can you describe the shape of the object?
It appeared as a perfectly streamlined object without wings or tail section, as it was silhouetted against the full moon. At all times, it had a brilliant, shimmering blue light in the nose. It was traveling at fantastic speed, and although it had passed off our left wingtip, it circled us in a matter of seconds and appeared off our right wing. There again, it stopped, and we watched it for several seconds. When again it started, it reversed its direction. We watched it for several more seconds until it disappeared in the east out of sight.
Have you ever seen any other similar object, Captain?
Never before or since.
Good day to you. This is Sir Patrick Moore, and you're listening to the Paranormal UK Radio Network, the UK's biggest paranormal radio network, and this is Paranormal Dimensions with David Young.
Hello, Spyros. Welcome to the show.
Hello, David. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you. It was just over a year ago that you were on before, and we were expecting that you were going to be doing a show in Woodbridge, which unfortunately didn't come about because of everything shut down, didn't it? Basically.
Yeah, the world went mad.
Yeah, it's still going mad.
Yes.
But, anyway, I'm hoping we've got some good news now that it's going to take place over a year later.
Yes. Yes, I think we're on now.
Which is good.
To tell you.
Yeah. Okay, well, I'll tell you what, for anyone that doesn't know too much about the Alien Autopsy, maybe you could do like a condensed version of the story, because anyone out there that knows about the Alien Autopsy video, it was a VHS video that came out originally from a TV show, you're the man that actually produced it.
Yes. What happened was, just if anyone that doesn't know, I don't know if there is anybody that doesn't know, but
probably very few, I would think nowadays.
Yeah, in July of 1947, something crashed in Roswell in New Mexico, and that became known as the Roswell incident. And it was said that it was a spaceship or a flying disc, something not from this earth. And a lot of people came forward giving their testimony and their eyewitness reports of what they saw. And so that was a story already well embedded in pop culture. So we know that something crashed. We don't know what it was, but you know, everyone wants it to be a UFO because that's a story that's been touted. Who knows what it was? But to fast forward, I was going to Cannes in France, to one of the TV film festivals, and I sent a number of faxes out to people to let them know I'm going to be there.
Oh, they're coming for you.
Yeah, they're coming to get me. And one of the people was a guy called Ray Santilli, and he said, "It'd be nice to meet you. I haven't got anything I want you to film, but it'd be nice to meet you. You're only local, so maybe we can do some stuff in the future." So I did meet him in Cannes, and he told me that he had a film of an alien autopsy. Okay, an autopsy of an alien being, right, from space. So I kind of looked at him a bit funny, thinking, oh, here we go, you know. And it turns out that he had a film he wanted to show me, and he wanted me to make documentaries from it. I went to his office. He showed me what we now know to be the tent footage, which was a really bad piece of nonsense. Not real at all. Shot on video. We discovered who did it. Some guys up in Milton Keynes. And it's just very dark, shoddy footage of what looked like it could be anything. A child on a table with an alien's head. And I left Ray's office having seen it, a little bit appalled that he'd wasted my time. And I called my friend John Humphreys that I was working with quite a lot, and he's one of my best friends, and he's a special effects sculptor. And I just said to John, you know, it's so bad, John, we could have done this with our feet. And he said, well, why don't we? So I called Santilli back, and I said I could make it for him properly, on the condition that we give it to people free, we tell them to tell us what they think it is, and when they can't tell us what it is, because it'll be good enough to stand scrutiny, we'll be able to then tell them how we did it and make a documentary about the Tadar moment of how it was faked. Mm. So that's the background. We made the film, but Ray Santilli did a bit of a naughty, and he sold the film to people without us knowing that he was selling it, because we didn't want to do that, because that's fraud, right? You can't be selling it as an Alien or a 1947 film when it isn't. Mm. So if we fast forward now to today, what's happened is Santilli still maintains that there was original 1947 film of the Alien Autopsy, and I'm here to tell you that there never was, and no one's ever seen it, no one's ever tested it, and it's a complete lie. So it's taken me a long time to put my book together, as you know. It is very detailed. I had to pull it. It was ready to go to print. It actually was with the printer, ready to be bound, actually. And then Santilli put up one single frame from my film that I made in 1995. And he said that it was a real frame of the Alien Autopsy from 1947. And he put it up for auction for $1 million. And he promised whoever bought the frame that he would give them evidence that it's real from the CIA. Yeah. Okay. So it's a great story. It's all nonsense, but it's a great story. So what I did was I decided to write 3 more chapters, and what they cover are is the $1 million frame. And it's the CIA papers, the email chain. Are you familiar with it, David?
I've seen a bit of it, Spyros. It's, but I've not seen it in detail, I must say.
Okay.
You know.
Well, in short, what it is, Robert Bigelow, a billionaire in America who owns Bigelow Aerospace, he set up a group called NIDS, and what they're investigators of the paranormal, right, and the unusual. And he funded the whole thing. And the people in NIDS are all doctors and professors and all sorts, scientists, well, very notable people. And one of those people is a guy called Dr. Kit Green.
Well, yeah, I know about Kit Green, yep.
Okay. Kit Green was in the CIA. And he later joined NIDS, and he was also at General Motors. He joined the car manufacturer General Motors. So there is an email chain between a few people from NIDS, all the different doctors and scientists, talking about the Alien Autopsy. And Kit Green supposedly saw my film before I'd made it.
That's right. Yeah, so I've caught up with you now. I do remember that now. Yes.
Okay. So of course that's quite compelling now, because a lot of people don't believe me, right? So they want to believe it's real. So as soon as they hear the CIA are saying that it's real, well, the CIA hasn't said anything of the sort. Someone who used to work for the CIA supposedly said it in an email chain. So my good friend Chant Hanna, who is in America and who is a very, very good researcher, dissected these emails to pieces, and she discovered there are fake email addresses. People that didn't work for General Motors have got General Motors email addresses. People that were never in Singapore sending emails from Singapore. Right. So she uncovered a number of things, but she also interviewed some people that were in this email chain. And those people have said they know nothing about this email exchange. They weren't party to it.
Good God. Yeah.
Okay. So there's a lot of information that tells us that this email chain is fake. Now, what happened was Grant Cameron, who's another ufologist, I suppose, and he's got a monetized group where people pay him to see his stuff. He put the story out that he got an interview from Kit Green, who was in the CIA, who tells us that the alien autopsy is real. Okay. Yeah. Now, you know me, right? I'm very, very level-headed. Yeah. And I don't say things that I don't mean. Okay. And what I said initially about Kit Green was, well, he might have seen an alien autopsy. We don't know he has, right? Because the only reason that my alien autopsy was successful was because the possibility of it existing was very believable. Okay. It's a story that people have heard before. So that's why it's credible. So is there a possibility that somebody from within the US government or military has actually seen a real alien autopsy? Well, I've got to say I don't know. Right?
Yeah, you've always said that, haven't you?
Yeah, I don't know. But I do know it's not my film. That's the Alien Autopsy that was released in 1995. Nothing in that film is real. Not one single frame. So what Santilli has done is he's listened to what I've told people, and he's heard that, for example, the suits that the people are wearing in the alien autopsy are not real because they don't exist anywhere else in the world, right? I designed them, I made them, they're unique to my film. So that's a good indication that, well, you know what? We've got Google, we've got Yahoo, we've got a number of search engines. If you can't find a suit the same, the probability of the fact that it's not a genuine suit is very high, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So he heard that. So what he did was he selected a frame that doesn't have anybody in it. It's just got the alien lying on the table. And he thinks it's a safe frame to say it's real. But, of course, it isn't safe, because I know a lot about that frame that he doesn't, right? There are things in that frame that simply cannot be in 1947.
Well, it's quite easy for you to match things in, isn't it? You know, from your other bit of film.
Yeah, well, I've got actual props that are in the film that, for example, the Bunsen burner in the back of in the frame has got a triangular base. Okay? All I'd like you to do is to try and find another Bunsen burner with a triangular base. It's very easy, right? It's easy. Yeah. You could do that. But here's the thing. The only triangular base Bunsen burners that are available, if you find one, this is how rare they are, you won't find one. You'll do your searches and you will not find one. If you do find one, if you do a little bit of research, you'll find that that Bunsen burner was a UK issue school Bunsen burner between 1960 and 1970. Okay? So that Bunsen burner cannot be in a film in America in 1947. Right?
Yeah.
Just that one thing. But Santilli wasn't to know that.
I was just thinking, I must have used one of those when I was at school, probably.
Yeah, of course. Now, I didn't think when I put it into the film, I'm going to come clean, right? I didn't think for a second that Bunsen burners were anything special. I thought everyone's seen a Bunsen burner, nobody's going to even look at it twice, and nobody ever did, right? Yeah. Because it's not something that we got experts on. It's a Bunsen burner. We saw them at school. When was the last time you saw a Bunsen burner, right? You saw it at school.
Yeah. Oh, it's probably about 1964, 63, something.
Yeah. So we're not experts on Bunsen burners. So when we see a Bunsen burner in a laboratory kind of setup, you accept it. You just think, well, you know what? It's a Bunsen burner. No big deal. But when it's not the right kind of Bunsen burner and it doesn't fit the time frame, and I'm telling you I know this, right? So the fact that I know this, no one else has ever mentioned it or said it before, right? But the fact that I know it, and the other bit that's lovely, is that I've got it still. Okay?
I mean, the thing is, Spyros, you've laid it on the line. Anyone listening to this now can go out and check it. Go and do a search. See if you can find one.
Yes. Now, if you do find one, it's very, very rare. I don't believe you will, right? But if you did find one, you can then search a bit further and you'll see that it doesn't fit in this film. Now, there is a wonderful little thing that happened in the past that Santilli tripped himself up on. And it's beautiful. It's actually, it's poetry, okay? I shot the Alien Autopsy on Fuji film, which was negative film, okay? Black and white negative film. And I bought that film in 1995, brand new. So that's the fact, okay? So the film that Santilli's got is the negative that I shot, okay? We got an interview with the guy who supposedly tested the film, right? This film expert, the guy called Bob Shell. Bob Shell is on record as having said the film that he tested is Kodak Super XX film, which was available in 1947. But the difference between that film and the one I actually used is that it develops into a positive. Okay? So it's not a negative film, it's a positive film. That means when you look at it up in the light, you see the picture as it's supposed to see, as it's supposed to be. On my film, it's completely negative and it needs to be transferred to a positive. Okay? So what did Santilli do in all his wisdom? He cut out a frame from the negative film and he put it up as a real frame to sell it for $1 million. When the expert has already told us that the real film is positive. Okay? It's all in my book. Everything's in detail, great detail.
I take it he hasn't found a buyer yet.
Of course not, because it's not real. Now, I issued a cease and desist to Rareable, who are the auction site, and they removed the sale.
Right.
Then Santilli put it up again, and I removed it again, and my lawyers wrote to Rareable, and they said, please stop him putting it up again, because we're taking it down, and he's just putting it back up again. You need to tell him to stop. So they must have said something to him, because he's now put it up in his company's name, in Orbital Media. This week, we have issued cease and desist documentation and legal papers to Santilli and to Orbital Media, once and for all. And he's got 30 days to reply. And I'm just going to go to the cleaners now, because my book's ready.
I think you've got to, yeah.
Yeah, my book's ready, and all the info is in there. Santilli has not got any 1947 film. So he's going to have to stand in court and say, yes, it's genuine, but I can't prove it. And I'm going to stand in court and say, no, it's not, and I can prove it. Okay? Yeah. And that's where it's going to end. So it's about time. But with the launch of the book, I think it's all coming round at the right time now. The book talks about every step of the way, all the different players, all the people that were involved. Santilli lodged a fraudulent copyright in America for a 1947 film that doesn't exist. I've also got a copyright in America for my film for the 1995, which does exist. And lo and behold, the same film that I've lodged, Santilli lodged. So one of them is not right, okay? One of us is in a lot of trouble, okay? Because if you go to a US government authority and say, give me a legal document that says that my product is now worth a lot of money, and then you use that to go and get money from American corporations fraudulently, well then I think they're going to have something to say about it. So I'm here, I'm still here, right? And I'm shouting from the rooftops. So I'm not scared of it. So let's see how he handles it. He's been confident in the past because he's tried to tie me up legally, and it's become very, very expensive. But I've now got a top lawyer who is from one of the biggest firms, biggest law firms, and very well known, who are doing it with me as a joint venture because it's a high profile case. So I'm not going to run out of money. I'm not going to run out of steam. It's all been put to bed now. So watch this space.
Yeah. Well, you know, at the end of the day, you're not going to lose, are you?
No,
that's the thing.
I can't lose because what I am claiming is fact.
Yeah.
What Santilli is claiming is pie in the sky. No one in 25 years has seen a 1947 frame with Alien Autopsy footage on it. Not one person. Now, the guy that has seen footage, Bob Shell, and also Kodak, have seen footage of some steps. Right? And those steps show nothing else. And it's from a baseball game. Right? It's from a baseball game, American college baseball game. And it's just the steps leading up to a changing room before you see the players. And that was the correct type of film for 1947. And we basically showed the film that I shot in positive, because I had it copied to a positive film. And but it's very new, right? It wasn't 1947 film, but it was with the other film in an old can. So when we showed him the film that I shot, wound it back up, and then he said, well, it needs some frames to test. We basically said, you can't have any frames to test, it's too valuable. We can give you some of these frames, but nothing with image on it. And he agreed because he'd seen everything. He thought it was the same film. The fact is, it's not the same film. There's no alien on it. There's no alien autopsy room in it. There's nothing. It's just 3 steps. Right? So unrelated, completely unrelated. So Santilli really needs to produce some real 1947 film with the alien on it, or the room without the alien in it. That'll do. Because that room is completely bogus. I made it up completely. Doesn't exist. Right? So if he can produce any part of that room on 1947 film, it's quid's in.
Well, that's a wonder. I've always wondered, Spyros, what was his original motives in all this? Do you think it was actually to make a lot of money?
Yeah. I didn't know this, but the tent footage that he showed me originally, because he told me it was real, right? So I was going to his office to see a real alien. So you can imagine when I saw this piece of rubbish that he showed me, I just thought, this guy's a chancer. Or he's an idiot. Because if he bought this film for a 6-figure sum, which is what he told me, then he's an idiot, right? He's bought a piece of video that was shot, it is video, right? And it wasn't around in 47. And I knew that. And I said to him, this is not on film. This is computer generated scratches. This is a video. How do you know? I said, it's my job to know. So I told him exactly what it was. I said to him, it's probably shot in colour, and the colour's been taken out to make it black and white. They've added scratches, but I can see camera glitches. I can see video glitches on the film, which is not something you get from a recorded video. It's from a camera. So I know this is camera footage. I can also tell you the people degraded the video several times over to make it look old. Right? It's an old trick. So I said, but it's not real. So at that point I knew that he either didn't know it was real and was fooled, or he knew it was real and he was trying to fool me. Well, as time went on, I eventually met the guy that made the tent footage. And the guy that made the tent footage made it for a program called something the web. Let me remember what it was called. Not Investigating the Web. I can't remember now, but it was a program that he'd made, and there was a little bit of footage within his program. Santilli saw it and thought, you know what, I can use this. Can I have it? So that's how he got it. And Penetrating the Web, that's what it's called. Penetrating the Web.
Yeah.
And that was released in Italy first. Well, that rang a bell with me because Ray Santilli's copyright in America states that the cameraman is unknown and first country of release, Italy. Right? So, okay. So the tent footage that was the original Alien Autopsy was released in Italy first. So he's obviously talking about that. He's not talking about my film. He's talking about the tent footage. But he lodged my film as the Alien Autopsy. Okay? So slowly I uncovered what he'd done. He just basically mixed and matched ideas and half facts and half truths and created a new reality. So when I spoke to Keith Bateman, who made the footage in Milton Keynes, he told me until he knew very well that it wasn't real, and it was always a bit of a ruse, a little bit of a laugh, and that's all it was. So Santilli knew when he showed me that it wasn't real, he knew. But he also showed our friend Philip Mantle, and he showed a few other ufologists and told them it was real. Okay? So I go into this whole thing in detail in my book, and I explain the chronological order of events and how it all happened and how everything worked out. So I've laid a number of challenges out in the past that nobody's ever been able to come up with anything, because I know what I'm talking about. The autopsy table that's in the room is unique. There isn't another one in the world anywhere. The suits are unique because I made them, right? So I know for a fact they're my designs and they don't exist anywhere else.
I know you've pointed out things before in the film. Like if you look closely, you can actually see the head of the uniform coming in and out, isn't it? So we can see where they're breathing and all that. That wouldn't happen in a normal suit. I think that's how you described it, wasn't it?
It would be pressurised. Otherwise, the air outside would get into the suit. There's no point wearing the suit.
Right.
Right? So the air pressure outside is obviously affecting the suit.
Because you had a pipe, going nowhere, apparently. It went down to their feet.
There was no pipe. Now, I also described stuff like, for example, the psychology of the film. There's a lot of psychological subtleties. Okay? You have seen the film, right?
Yeah.
Right, I can tell you've never seen anybody's feet. Do you recall seeing any feet?
No.
Okay, but you assume that you did, right? Do you remember seeing the end of the autopsy table?
Not offhand, no.
No, but you assume you have seen the end of the autopsy table, but you never do, right? You never see the end of the autopsy table, where the feet are.
Yeah. And that's easy for anyone who's got the film there, so go and check that, isn't it?
Yeah, they can go and check, right? But I was deliberately avoiding areas that are problematic, because the end of that view wasn't finished very nicely. I didn't have a factory to make an autopsy table, so I had to do it by hand. So I knew the corners couldn't be made to look professional, so I just didn't film them.
Oh, like those machined corners you get. I know what you mean.
Yeah. So I just didn't film them, right?
Yeah.
And there's a number of things that I avoid filming. So when I tell you why I avoided filming them, then you suddenly realise, okay, this guy knows too much. I'll give you one more little snippet, which is funny because I made a mistake, and it's worked out to my favour. But I got the American electrical sockets from America. I had a girl in America sending me stuff, and she sent me the Bakelite electrical sockets, which are 1947 without the earth pin. You know, like in an electrical socket, you have live, neutral, and you have an earth pin. Well, in 1947 or around that time, 45, 46, they didn't have 3 pins. They had 2 pins. Okay. So she sent me the original. She found 2 Bakelite units. So what I did, I put them into the set and I fixed them to the walls. Okay. I fixed one on the far wall where the clock is, and the clock is actually plugged into the socket. And then I put another one just for show to the right of the autopsy table where the alien's head is. Okay, it's an unusual position to put it because you put it halfway up the wall, right? But I did that so you see it. Yeah. I want you to see it. There's no point on the floor. So they're fitted, and in 25 years, not one person has ever said this to me, but they're wrong. Oh. Right, and I'll tell you why they're wrong. In England, as you know, when we fit a double socket, we fit it sideways in landscape mode. Yeah, yeah. You've got one socket to the left and one socket to the right. In America, they fit it up and down in portrait mode. So you have one on top and one underneath. Okay? Yeah. So I fitted them the way we fit them in the UK. And in America, they fit them absolutely differently. Nobody fits them the way I fitted them. So now that I've told you that, go do some searches and you'll see that they're fitted wrong. Yeah. I
must say, I mean, I've been to America several times, quite a few times. I've never really looked at the wall sockets.
You know what? I knew this. I actually knew it. But when I was building the set, I was against time. Yeah. I had to do an awful lot of work. It's only me, you see. I didn't have a whole crew. Only me to build the table, all the side bits of furniture, the tent for the debris footage, and the actual room that the autopsy was going to happen in. I had to build all that myself. So I had no time. So I just rushed. So when I fitted the electrical sockets, I didn't think about it. I was in UK mode, right? So you've now got the suits, you've got the autopsy table, you've now got the sockets are wrong. You've got the Bunsen burner that's wrong, right? So no one else in the world ever, in 25 years, has ever said this. Okay? Only me. Only I know this stuff. So eventually you've got to start saying the probability of this guy being the guy is pretty high, right? So I'm not being big-headed. I'm not boasting. I'm just saying I know because I was there. Yeah. Right? I know exactly what happened. So the $1 million frame I go into in great detail, and Santilli did me a favour because it's a great story, isn't it? It
is. It's wonderful. Hasn't our friend Colin ever mentioned that one about the socket?
No, Colin's gone quiet because Colin has realised. I believe Colin has realised how wrong he is, and he's got nowhere to go now because I've given him so much evidence that he's thinking, "Oh God, there's more in the book." I better be quiet because I'm going to end up with egg on my face.
We won't mention his full name, but Colin's been your adversary for a number of years, hasn't he? Trying to prove that you're a FBI agent and all sorts of things.
Yeah. Listen, let me just say this on the record once, okay? Because I've got nothing against Colin, okay? I think Colin is an enthusiastic conspiracy theorist. I think that he isn't a very good researcher. He's very childish in how he behaves, and I believe he believes what he said. Okay, and I believe
I think he certainly does. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, and I believe that he means well. I think he thinks that it's real, and he thinks that I'm some kind of misinformation agent. But yeah, it's all very well, and it's very flattering, but after a while, you've got to say now, enough now, because this is now becoming embarrassing, right? You know, I've shown you so much. It's time to stop. It's time to stop. There's a lot of stuff. I won't spoil it for you because the book, I've got to tell you, I'm very excited because the book is very sexy. Awesome. You're going to love it when you get it. It looks good, it feels good, and it's full of stuff.
Yeah, I can't wait. So, it really sounds good.
Yeah. And I'm very, very happy with it. It's a monument because it's taken me really a lot of time to put together. you don't understand half the information that's in there, how it got there, because everybody's got to be just right, because the slightest little thing and people will say, oh yeah, but what about this? So I've been very careful to not miss stuff out, whilst not making it boring, because it's very easy to get bogged down with detail and forget that it should be entertaining.
Well, it is a very well, I mean, if you don't know too much about this story, it can sound very, very confusing, can't it?
Yes, it can.
So it does take a lot of thinking about. So apologies out there if you've never really heard much about this story, but it is something worth delving into.
Okay. I'm going to tell you this, okay? Anyone that doesn't know about this, okay, it's been billed as the greatest hoax of all time.
Yeah.
It's been seen by 2 billion people.
Although there might be another one now, but we won't go into that.
Yeah. But it's still that. I don't buy that as a hoax, because I think that's a scam. Right. All right. But that's another story.
Yeah, we won't go into that.
Yeah. But here's the thing, right? 2 billion people around the globe have seen this image. Okay. It stood the test of time. It's 25 years later, and we're still talking about it. People are telling me still, even right now, people are telling me it's real.
Yeah, I know.
Still, okay. We're getting also, every time we turn around, we see a new story pop up, and it's one thing after another. CIA, the CIA said it's real because no, they didn't say that. It's all nonsense, but it's a great story. So, if you haven't heard about the story before, it initially started off as a bit of fun. It wasn't supposed to last so long. It was supposed to last a couple of months, maybe 6 weeks, and then we're going to make a reveal show to show how we made it. That's all it was ever meant to be.
Yeah.
But the distributor of the film, Ray Santilli, saw that he could make a few $1 million out of it, and that's what he did. But he did it behind our back, so we didn't know that he was selling it. So, and we didn't get paid. We got some royalties early on, very, very little, but we got something right early on, which was on a VHS tape, which was called Roswell the Footage. Now that was the very, very first release that ever went out, and it was a documentary that I made with a bogus cameraman making a statement, and the footage at the end, inviting people to look at it and to tell us what it is. Okay, so that went out initially by mail order, and then Santilli gave it free to Channel 4, which is what I agreed. I said we'd give it free to TV companies and let them investigate it. Don't tell them anything. Don't say it's an alien. Don't say it's a human. Don't say anything. Let them tell us what it is.
Yeah. Then you come clean a month later or something.
Because once you investigate it, this is what happens, okay? The creature on the table isn't human, okay? So a doctor will say that. A doctor will say this is not a human being. A special effects person will say it's not a special effect because we couldn't have done that in 1947. Didn't have the technology to make that kind of a special effect. So it can't be a special effect. So if it's not a human and it's not a special effect, then what is it? Okay? So that's a dilemma that they would have. And the end of the conversation would be, we don't know what it is. We can't tell. Is it human? Is it an alien? Is it a fake? We don't know. Because we haven't got enough evidence. And then we would say, it's a fake, and this is why it's a fake. Okay? This is how we made it. But we never got to that point because Santilli sold it to America, to Fox TV, for a lot of money. And we thought that they got it free like Channel 4 got it free, right? We weren't party to the deals. And then Santilli sold it on to Germany, France, Russia, Japan, all over the world, and made millions. And we didn't find out until very, very late in the day because we believed him. We just believed that.
I know it's not funny, but it was quite funny to me the way you found out because you were sitting having a cup of coffee or something, and you spat your coffee out because it came on the television.
That's right. I was in Hong Kong. I was actually in Hong Kong in a hotel room, and I saw it on telly, and it was like, what was this? Right? Was it? I'm in Hong Kong. It's a very obscure place to be, right? Yeah. To see my film. So I phoned Santilli and I said, it's on telly here. And he said to me, oh, they bootlegged it and we can't stop them. I said, how can we not stop them? He said, well, because we said it's original 1947 and therefore it's a military film, so it's not ours, so they're not ripping us off, they're ripping the government off. So we can't do a thing about it. And of course that made sense.
Mm.
Okay, so what do we do now? There's nothing we can do. Okay. Well, this happened again and again and again. So I only got to know about it when the Anton Deck film was made, and in 2005, 2006. And it's all in the book. I won't spoil it for you, but the stories are all there. Have you heard about Adrian Sington?
No, that's a new one.
No, okay. Adrian Sington is an author. He's a writer. And Santilli told me when the Anton Deck film was out, he said, look, you know, we want you to tell the story now. So we've got a publishing deal. So we're going to appoint a writer for you, a guy called Adrian Sington, and he's going to come and take interviews from you. And then he's going to write the book from your perspective, and you can have all the royalties and blah, 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 to make up for what they did. So reluctantly I agreed, and I did a tape interview with Sington, and then Sington gave the tapes to Santilli, who then edited the tapes up to make it sound like I was saying there was real film. Just completely wrong, right? So I exposed that as well. I tell the story there. I had a couple of phone calls with people that know Santilli that I've transcribed. There will be a website that goes with the book. So when people read about a particular phone call, or if they read about a piece of film or a documentary, they can go to the website and actually see what I'm talking about. So they can familiarise themselves with it. And it's as concise as I think I can make it. After the $1 Million Frame, I'm expecting something to happen. I don't know what the next story is going to be.
Yeah, something's got to come out of this, isn't it?
Yeah. Now, what I've done is, because it's quite an expensive book, when you get it, you'll see what I mean. It's expensive to make. It's not a cheap book. So I had an idea, which I'll do after the book's released and sold. I might release a second round, which I'll do it this way round. What I'm going to do is I've written each chapter as a standalone chapter. So if you were to get that chapter on its own, it makes absolute sense on its own. Okay? And then what I'm going to do is have a special binder made, and then people can buy the chapters monthly.
Right.
And then I will send the chapters that they will put into the binder. And then they can create their book via... in a more easy way to buy it. It isn't as good as the book, because the book is, as I say,
it's not going to have a build-up plastic alien to go with it, is it? A piece of alien at a time.
Yeah, that's a great idea. I've got another website which is called Alien Gifts 4 U. So no, it's called Alien Gifts. No, what's it called? It's called Alien.gifts. That's what it's called.
Alien.gifts, right.
Alien.gifts. And that's going to be launched with lots of memorabilia where you can buy stuff that's shown in the film, like the I-beams and the control panels and all that sort of stuff. I'm just checking that is the right domain name I just gave you. Let me just quickly check. Alien. Just confirming that it's... Yes, it is. It's alien.gifts, as in presents.
Sounds excellent.
Yeah, and that's going to be coming soon. There is a holding page there at the moment. And it will have everything from T-shirts and mugs and all different things. Quite a lot of fun stuff. And like I say, you can't get the stuff that's on there anywhere else. And so anyone that really wants... there's quite a few fanatics out there. We are going to have a life-size alien available. The very, very first one is going to Uri Geller's museum in Israel. And then there'll be a limited edition of those. Not many people are going to want a full-size alien. but few people have asked me for them.
I reckon the Roswell Museum will want one.
Yeah. Well, it's up to them. The Roswell Museum, obviously, they're I created a hoax. I'm a thorn in their side.
Yeah.
Because for me it was a bit of fun. To them, it's a life. It's a serious. It's a serious thing. Who knows what happened in Roswell, right? Who knows? I interviewed a lot of people in Roswell about the Roswell, about the incident, and what really made me think that everything we're being told is unreliable is that people that described what the aliens looked like described something different to what I made. And then when I made mine, everybody started saying, "Oh yeah, that's what we saw." And as soon as they did that, I knew they were lying, you see. So I kind of lost faith in, is it a money-making machine? If you've ever been to Roswell, you'll be able to see that it's a meal ticket for them.
Yeah.
There are 6 crash sites, or 7 crash sites. Well, there can't be, can there?
I wouldn't have thought so, no.
No, but there are 7. You can go and pay to see.
I mean, when I went to Roswell, I didn't go out to the crash site. I just went to the Roswell town, basically, because I thought, there's nothing much to see out. It's just the big open spaces, you don't see anything. So,
you know what? I did see stuff, and if I was to believe, which is what I did originally, I saw what could have been where something crashed, because the bushes and trees around there were burnt. Okay, so there's this black charcoal, and then the sand looked like it was scooped, and the sand had melted into a sheet of glass where something hot had hit it. So if I wanted to believe that, I would say, you know what, it could be where something crashed. And you know what, it probably was something where something crashed. It could be anything. It could be an airplane, right? So, but the problem I had is that I did go to 3 different crash sites. The one that I went to was the Matt Brazel Ranch one, and that's the one that it was supposed to be, right? But there were others. There was in Socorro.
Socorro, yeah.
Yeah, and there's another one in I forgot where it is now. But there can't be that many unless what we've got here is that we just got they're really bad at landing.
Yeah.
Are they being shot out of the air? If you're a conspiracy theorist, you can make stories up. You can make it all work and fit whatever you want it to believe. What if they're turning up and then the military's shooting them down? That could be why they're crashing, right? But how come nobody's seen anything? Nobody's taken a photograph. Nobody's, if it's happening so often, not one person, not one eyewitness has actually got anything tangible. So, something I talk about in the book as well that you probably don't know about is the film that never was. I was going to make a film of the crash site, and it was going to show the spaceship. It was going to have the aliens on the floor, and President Truman was going to be in the shot.
All right.
Right. And because Ray kept telling people that he's got film with President Truman in it.
Right.
Okay. And we could do that. It's actually doable. But we did all the groundwork, and then Ray got cold feet, so we never made the film. But I've got all the storyboards and the drawings and the, something else I should mention. Every drawing, every piece of artwork in the book, and it's full of artwork. It's full of, posters. So anything that's in the book is available as a poster.
Excellent.
And it's also available as a T-shirt. And there's a lot of them. There's the crash site, there's the debris, there's all that sort of stuff. And there's funny comments and statements and humorous stuff. Because it is a giggle. The book is a giggle all the way through. It has its moments.
Well, I mean, it started off as a giggle for you anyway, didn't it? That's
yeah.
I mean, do you feel that that Santilli thought you were in on the lie, basically, all the way, or did he?
No. I had no. The deal we made was not what he did, And what he did was he kept my team away from anything to do with money, anything that was being sold. So he kept us away from that because we would want a share of it, you see.
Yeah, of course.
Because the deal was 50-50. I paid half because we filmed 2 films, right? So the first film, I paid half of that first film, and Ray's partner Volker Spielberg paid for the other half. Then we had to film it again because it wasn't right. Technically, it wasn't right. And the second one I paid for entirely. So, and I paid for the debris footage entirely. There was a fake cameraman's interview in Hollywood that I paid for 50% with Santilli. So some of the stuff we own together, but the actual Alien Autopsy that was released, I own completely. So if he sold it, I want to be paid.
Absolutely, yeah.
Because I haven't recovered my money. I've not recouped anything. So I paid my crew. Everyone got paid, you see. It wasn't a case of let's all do it for free. They have, it was a big job. Keith Bateman, who made the tent footage, actually got a quote just to have an alien made for £25,000. Just the alien. Forget the room, forget all the bits in the room, forget the autopsy table and the suits and the whole, forget all that, and filming it and processing and all the rest of it. Just the alien was 25 grand. So it wasn't a Mickey Mouse thing. It's an expensive production. So he kept any money that came in away from us. And once I tumbled it and realised that what he was doing, at that point he started claiming that, oh no, you don't understand. Well, show me what money you've got then. Account to me. That was the deal, right? He hasn't accounted to me. He refuses to talk to me about it. He refuses to acknowledge that, to me, a different story, right? But to the world, he even told people that I wasn't even involved at one point, right? On this $1 million frame, I've got a text, a series of texts from Santilli telling me that, if I don't make a fuss about it, we can share the money. Well, why would you share the money with someone that wasn't even involved?
Yeah, of course.
Right? So, it's enough now. I think it's time.
Yeah, he's just trying to feed you something to keep you quiet, isn't he?
It's the usual, it's the usual thing, It's the usual thing. So, he's got nothing I want. He's done enough damage, and I'm a good friend, and for a long time I went along with stuff that he said because I believed him, and I just thought, well, we're close. If he tells me that's how it is, that's how it is. Why would I just?
Do you feel that he might be sitting on a lot of money, or
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah,
absolutely.
So really, I mean, you may well be coming into a few quid later.
Well, you know what? I deserve it. Yeah,
you do deserve it. Yeah, after all this that you've done, and the 20 odd years of pain and suffering you've been through as well.
Yeah. I've been called all sorts of things. You can't believe
how
much.
I've seen some of it. Yeah.
Yeah. So, and I've had my family harassed. I've had, and this is, for me, this is a film. People grow up. It's not life or death. But to some people, it is life or death. It's like it's the Holy Grail. So I get it. I do get it. I didn't get it at the time.
Yeah, I think we said this before. This would actually make a fantastic movie, wouldn't it?
It's going to happen. That's definitely going to happen.
That would be great.
I've got a movie and I've got a TV 6-part series that I'm putting to bed. I have a few offers, so I'm not sure where I'm going to go yet, but I have got offers, and that will happen in due course. The book released, once the book is pressed and finished, the film and everything will be locked up because they suddenly have something to write a script from.
Yeah, sure.
My book talks about all the characters and the interaction between the characters and the bits and pieces that happened. And there's some funny parts in there. There are very, very funny little things that happened and stuff. It would make a really good movie.
It would. It'd make a fantastic movie.
Yeah.
And also, your book, when you're going to bring it out in 3 different sort of versions, weren't you? Like you're going to be a really nice deluxe version, a hardback, and a paperback.
Yeah, the deluxe version is the bigger size, and it's full colour, on thick silk paper, so all the pages are quite substantial, and a hardback, and it's very lovely.
And it's a limited edition as well, wouldn't it?
Yeah, that's a limited edition, and I'm giving 50% of the taking, so all the profit is going to my homeless charity on that book, and the hardback is about a centimetre on each flat, so a couple of centimetres smaller. Again, it's full colour. The pages are a bit thinner, so it's not as luxurious, if you like, but it's still lovely, still a lovely book. And then there'll be the normal paperback, which I'm still trying to work out how I'm going to do that, because the book is full of colour pictures. And it might just be that there's no need for a paperback.
Right, yeah.
But we'll see.
Well, you could do maybe just black and white pictures. Or would that not work, do you think?
It wouldn't work. When you see it, you'll see what I'm saying.
Yeah.
It would be a shame. But yes, I could do that. There might be a way of doing it as a paperback in colour, but just not the same layout that I've got on the other books. Because the other books have got the pages are divided into two halves. So you've got black with white writing, and you've got a kind of mottled, old-fashioned paper with black writing, and it's lovely to look at. But if I just got rid of that and made it all black and white and a few colour pictures, that might work.
Yeah,
that might work.
Yeah. Okay. Now the next exciting thing coming along is hopefully you're going to be touring with your how it was done.
Yes. I'm going to tour the book, so I'll be doing a live talk with video presentation and slides and all sorts of stuff. And then people can ask me questions and anything that I may not have covered before. And I'll show them, illustrate them, and show evidence and that sort of stuff. And I'll have the books with me. So anybody who wants to buy a book, I'll have them with me. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to tour that just about everywhere. I've been booked to go to Spain in October, and we're doing a show in September, aren't we?
Yep, we've got Woodbridge booked in Suffolk,
yes,
which we need to sort of start moving on, don't we, a little bit?
Yes, absolutely. That's all good. And I've got a number of other offers. What I'm trying to do, because my friend Tony Moore, who you're going to meet tomorrow. Yeah. Is he operates the computer for me when I do my talk, because he's a bit of a whiz kid like that, and he has his own show called Awake, which is a musical journey about what's happened to us this last year, right? All about lockdowns and all the rest of it. It's a really great show.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah, and so what we decided to do is if we're going to take my show to Scotland or to Manchester or wherever, and Tony's going to be with me, we're going to be booking halls to do my talk in the afternoon and then Tony's show in the evening. So we're going to do that as a tour together.
Yeah, it's a great idea.
Yeah. And tomorrow when you see the show, you'll know exactly what I mean. It's right up your street, because it will resonate with you. And you're not going to understand how he's doing everything. He's a genius. He's actually a genius. When you see what he does tomorrow, you'll see, wow. Yeah. It's just. He's
been in one or two big bands as well, hasn't he?
He was in Iron Maiden, and he was also in Cutting Crew.
Right.
And he's a great songwriter. We did a daily show on Facebook every single day for a year, 2 hours a day, because everybody was locked up. So we wanted a place where everyone can go, a routine. Everybody can go at 8 o'clock at night and meet up with friends. So we did this show 2 hours a night for a year, which is quite an achievement. And he did it from his shed, and I did it from my office at home, and we put this show together. And it was fantastic. It was really great. Met a lot of people that we didn't know, and it was just somewhere to go. So it was a routine that because people have stopped going to work, they stopped going out, they stopped going to pictures, So it was just a reassuring, you're not on your own kind of situation. So the Awake show came from that. So he wrote the whole thing from his shed. It's really something else.
Yeah, I did catch a few clips when you were doing that. Unfortunately, I couldn't catch all of it a lot of the time because I was sort of busy doing other stuff. But it was because it was a bit of an awkward time for me. But I did catch a few clips.
Well, you'll
of it.
get the live show tomorrow.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to seeing you. So I'll just keep putting. I'll let you know dates as I get them, and I'll put them up on the internet as well on my Facebook group. Alien Autopsy Fact Files, and I'll just put new dates and stuff there. So depending on what place in the world you are, there'll be something for you. I'm planning an American tour as well, and a few obscure places: Italy, France, and anywhere that they ask me to go.
Yeah, but if you're listening to this and you're interested in seeing Spyros' Alien Autopsy show, it's in Woodbridge in Suffolk on the 19th of September, and that's a Sunday.
Yeah, I look forward to seeing you all there. We are going to do a Tony Moore gig in the evening, so
and that will be the same place. That's right.
Yes, so I'll do a show probably about 4:00 in the afternoon. Then we'll have an hour break. And then we'll come back and Tony will do his show. So if you come to one, you can go to both.
That's right. And you've got an Alien Autopsy page on Facebook, haven't you, Spyros? If anyone wants to come and catch up with it.
Alien Autopsy. It's called Alien Autopsy Fact Files.
That's it. So, and then you better keep in touch with where you'll be appearing and your shows that you'll be doing, and we'll try and get some stuff up there about the Woodbridge show soon. We did start it last year, didn't we? But it sort of all collapsed.
We'll start again. I'm also happy to take any questions from anybody. So if anybody has any questions, Alien Autopsy Fact Files on Facebook, and you can ask me anything you want.
That's right. Yeah, you're usually pretty responsive on there, aren't you, as well?
Yeah. I have a catchphrase which is I hide from no one.
That's right. Best way to be. Okay. Absolutely the best way to be.
Yeah, I hide from no one. If you've got a question, ask me and I will answer it.
Brilliant.
Okay.
Right, okay, Spyros, it's been fantastic having you back on the show, and as I say, good luck with I'll be seeing this tomorrow anyway, and if you're listening to this and we're saying tomorrow, it's actually last week we're talking about, because we recorded it, but I lost myself now.
Well, time's up.
But anyway, Spyros, it's been fantastic, and I'll be seeing you tomorrow, as I say. Good.
I really enjoyed it, good to talk to you again.
Yeah, good luck with everything, and you know that without saying, I'll back you all the way, and I'm looking forward to everything. You know, the book and everything. So it's been fantastic.
Look forward to seeing you.
Yeah.
And like I say, anyone has any questions, please don't hesitate. I'm really happy to answer.
Yeah. I mean, also on the Paranormal Dimensions page, which I'll put all the links I can, for all this. When I'm off my band, that is. I'm banned at the moment, but I know my wife Jill's looking forward to coming to the show, because I mean I think we all need to get. I mean I haven't been out much for over a year now, and it's been terrible. Looking forward to getting out again for a little bit.
That's it. Yes, absolutely.
Anyway, so I'll let you go, and thank you very much, and looking forward to seeing you tomorrow.
Thank you. Okay, goodbye.
Night, Spyros. Take care of yourself. Cheers, mate. Bye bye. Bye bye. Right, you've listened to Paranormal Dimensions. I'm David Young on the Paranormal UK Radio Network. That was Spyros Melaris, and another fantastic show. Thanks for listening.
Night in New Mexico, 1947. Mac Brazo heard the sky explode. Crash site made his blood run cold. Flying saucer captured on Foster Ranch. Headlines spread like an avalanche. Major Marcel investigates. He knows the truth, but no disc, no aliens. The men in black lay down the law. Keep your mouth shut and walk away. You didn't see what you saw. The story disappeared. Cover-up was locked down. Powers that be closed the case till Stanton Friedman came to town. The secret was exposed, conspiracy unveiled. Disinformation did not prevail. We know we're not alone. We're not the only ones who search the universe and interdimensions. Roswell, will the question be answered? Will we ever know what really happened in New Mexico? Roswell, Roswell.
Paranormal Dimensions is a regular feature on Mondays on the Paranormal UK radio network.
They're laughing at you. They're not laughing with you. It's fine.
I remember my daughter Kerry saying to me, you know, Dad, one day I'm going to be able to walk down Union Street and I'm going to be able to say, my dad's not mad. Look at what he said. Look at what is happening. He was right.
After 30 years, thank God! Thank God I've never seen you on Malcolm and I was like a teenager and I thought, oh my God, I said that man, even then.
Oh, thank you.
So, and now, thank God, thank God.
You've been so kind to everyone,
No
so
problem.
patient.
No.
Thank you very much.
Have a picture with
Of course, yeah. Which one, that one?
Yeah.
Who's it for?
Yeah,
Joe. Hey!
You're my hero.
Oh, you're mine. Hey!
Brilliant work you're doing.
Thank you.
David,
Oh, it's all yours.
David, we love you. Can we get a selfie?
Go on,
You're
then.
so amazing.
Go on then.
Oh, well
Thank
done.
you.
We love you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Hey!
Cheers, mate. I've been following you for years. Keep up
Cheers,
the good work.
mate. Cheers. Thank you. Thank you, mate.
But how good does that feel to say that they're not laughing at you now?
No, they're not laughing at me now.
No, they're not.
They're trying to ignore me. The sight of these people in these vast numbers walking through the London streets saying we're not having it anymore is it's so freaking emotional, you know. You know, I've done some things in my life, but you know, this is an incredible day for me to have seen all those years ago, those decades ago, where no one wanted to know and everything you said was crazy, and now you see the world waking up on this scale. So you know, the whole COVID era has been a fascistic nightmare, but it has woken people up to the fact that there are forces running human society that are not the people they see, and we have an opportunity now to turn that, seeing that, into ceasing to cooperate with it. And if the kind of numbers we're starting to see cease to cooperate with the diktats of authority and fascism, then the numbers alone mean it cannot prevail. So this is a fantastic, pivotal day, and a day that gives you enormous encouragement for where we go from here. Hey, hey, how are you, man? Hi.
Am I going to picture you?
Yeah, of course. I love this. Thank you. How the police should be.
Excellent. Big fan, my friend.
Thank you, mate.
I say wait and see.
The coronavirus pandemic started in China. Oxygen, medical supplies and hospital staff have
One of the 5 vaccines in research.
Stage 1, you create a problem. It could be a manufactured virus. You want a reaction, and you want them to either say, do something, or you want them to accept what the authorities suggest must be done. So one of the agendas is to massively cull the population. They want to reduce the numbers.